Alright, alright, alright. Let's see if we can get something going here. My computer is lagging. What is happening? Change the scene. Did I break something? Oh my goodness, guys. Awkward. What? There we go. Okay. And we're back. What in the world? My computer doesn't look like it's doing too well tonight. Let's hope it hangs in there. Hello everyone. As advertised, I once again had a Corona in the fridge, so you know what time that is then. Made the effort to get a lemon as well. Delish. Alright, so we've got 4 games right now, and one more coming up in half an hour, then another one in an hour, and another one in an hour and a half, and I think we'll be streaming for about 2 hours total. So yeah, I think that's basically the amount of time we have available. So let's get into it. I also was wondering about maybe streaming some Lone Wolf, but don't... Oh my goodness, my computer is freezing. Okay. Maybe I started doing things too fast. Hello. Okay. Hello. Okay. And we're back. Alright, let's open up the games then. Okay, as long as we can get the games open, it doesn't matter, right? And I think Sina and LaMoscaGuapa is the one that's been running the longest. So we're going to look at that one first. What in the world is happening with my computer? Let me close some stuff and see if that helps. Wow. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Computer's not doing too good. Very much not doing too good. Oh no. Do I have too much stuff open? It's not the connection, it's the computer. Tabbing between things is low. No! Okay, Zen mode off, Zen mode off, Zen mode off. Okay, we're good. And let's just run to the start of all of these games so we can catch up a little bit slowly. Alright, hang on. Just gonna get myself off of that channel, so I want to read that stuff later. Alright, let's have a look. So here is Sina versus LaMoscaGuapa, and that is a board 4 game. Nice. Oh, okay, so these actually might be some people I play somewhere along the line. This is. I also know Sina from the SarahWynn, whatchamacallit, the SarahWynn Simul we had. I see SarahWynn's actually in the chat, as well as Rob. Hello to SarahWynn and Rob. E4 game, D5. Alright. Oh, very nice. I'm liking this. A little F5 action. Oh, okay. Black just counters immediately with D5 in the center. Take a pawn. Queen comes out. Okay, now if you take en passant, you just run the knight back there, I guess. So instead, D3. Forcing a trade of knights, I guess. Yep. Trade of knights. So white is basically just trying to run through the game, being very aggressive, I guess. This pawn's kind of weak. You've got a bit of a potential here, but not quite yet. What else? Your knight can't get to a natural square, and your light square bishop can't quite get out yet, so... Would I play this? Alright, black says, no d4 for you. So if you take back, they sack the pawn, but then your light square bishop's going to take even longer to get out. Alright. Yeah, I think this might be a good move. Retaking obviously just kind of fixes this. I guess you could take, but then the queen also comes in, I guess. That's maybe part of the problem, right? Yeah, so queen g3, just getting off that optimal square for the knight. Light square bishop comes out. Light square bishop comes out. I wonder if... I honestly don't know this opening. I wonder if this is still theory. Yeah, I guess you stop that dark squared pawn. Is black gonna try and castle along? I wonder. White's getting some more pieces out. I wonder if this could be a... It's not really a sack that works, right? You can sack the bishop for 3 pawns potentially, but I don't know. Alright, oh, never mind. So even though you did this, you're still going to put the knight out sideways. So you're probably trying to get a lot of pressure down the F file quickly. This also allows the bishop to come out here, or the knight to come out here. Yeah, so black is going for the queenside castle. Castle and no castle just yet. Castle and no castle just yet. Why would you not just castle? Actually, in this case, you could probably even take and then get a check on this. Oh no, the bishop can get you, can't it? Yeah, never mind. You could get a knight in there, maybe. Well, I don't know. I don't know if white's opening is really how it's supposed to be. Okay. C5 at least gives you a little, like, potential. Never mind. Now that extended pawn is going to sit there for a while, though. This bishop is going to have, well, no, not really that much of a hard time. It can still get out a little bit on f3, right? You can also get, if you can trade off that bishop, you could get your knight onto the d5 square, which might be good. Alright, just a small developing move. You can try and play c3 here, right? The queen won't be able to take the pawn just yet. Alright. Oh, wow, okay. Sacking. So if you take back... Yeah, that's a nice move, though. You know, you take back and then they open up with the check on the king and they take the light square bishop. So that pawn was forfeit. That pawn was forfeit here already. Apologies, this was already on the cards, wasn't it? Take and here. Right after the bishop came out. Okay, but black did play it here. Yeah, f3 is a great square for that bishop now, right? Light square bishop comes back. Here comes the knight. What do you do with it? You can trade it off, I guess. I hear actually... Oh, you got to be careful. They could push this pawn through if the bishop moves. G6. Oh, okay. Not going to do that. Probably safer, to be honest. Now, you move the bishop somewhere, then here comes e6. Hitting your queen, opening up a square here, maybe for the other bishop to come through. Now, this rook still got to play. This is a clear, easy move. Something like a4, a5. If they block you off, there might still be something you can do about that later. Get this knight somewhere else. And taking the light square bishop isn't bad, right? But I wonder if there's something better you can do. Kind of like, I want to put the bishop on the other diagonal. Or something like that. What to do? I mean, if you've got nothing else to do, then you probably want to play up either your a pawn or get your rook out, but then you're hanging the pawn, so you probably want to play it up first, right? Maybe even just, yeah, maybe 2 squares. Because you can threaten to keep on pushing it. Playing over, sacks it. Oh, actually, hang on. This isn't too bad right here, because if you do this, then... Nope, it's absolutely terrible. I was going to say it's pinned to the king, but you can't attack it twice, so it doesn't help. I want to move this knight. Get this dark square bishop in the game. Oops, sorry. Let's see. Black's perspective. I mean, black's kind of survived the onslaught. They've only gone down 1 pawn versus 2. Both players have kind of an overextended pawn of sorts, right? So the e5 pawn and the d4 pawn, but equally they're both fairly safe. Although I don't know, I feel like in black's perspective, trading off the... If you could stop this from being a problem, trading off that dark square pawn might be really good. If I do this, and you push, can't come here because that isn't protected. So what if you just drop all the way back? Because then if you push, you could actually trade off queens as well. Long term, black's just tiny better. Okay, never mind. They snap off the light square bishop. Now that e-pawn is under a little bit of pressure, you can tickle the rook on the back on the d8 square, if that helps to any degree. You can make the queen move again and push, but that doesn't really have any benefit just now. Yeah, I think you just got to get your other knight in the, your other rook in the game. This guy is hanging right now though, so here I don't like that. Maybe rook over? I mean, you could even play this over, but then again you're hanging this square, so... Although here they take... You double up the BC squares, pawns, what am I saying? Then you can tickle a rook. And you can actually come put the bishop here. I don't know. This still seems kind of like an acceptable plan. Also just push... no. I was going to say you could do this, but that trade, even though you get this pawn, you lose this one. I don't really think that helps white at all. What else we got? Hey, Barbelay. Apologies. I think you posted something and I just smashed in my announcement in general right behind you, and I think I kind of covered up what you were talking about. Sorry about that. Not on purpose. Apologies for jamming it in there, so to speak. How are you doing? Is it, wait, it's morning for you, right? Because it's evening for me. And here's Elwie as well. Elwie with the Blitzkrieg idea. I don't know if people have already gotten in there, but it sounds fun. Back in the day, like 2 years ago maybe, I joined someone else who had an idea to play like League of Nations. So you made teams, either I think it was countries or like areas in the world, maybe like America, South America, somewhere in Europe, a few teams, Africa or Asia or something like that. The idea was fun. We played, I think, basically like one season kind of, but it's a lot of effort, especially because we didn't have any whatchamacallit, any kind of automation, so we did everything by hand. It was yeah, it took some time. I mean, worst case, you just put your rook over here. There's no immediate threat, right? Black doesn't have anything just yet, although this knight jumping out to put pressure on both of these pawns could be kind of good. Although I don't think, yeah, as black you probably don't want to take the a pawn because that's just a problem. So black's got an easy like king b8 move as well, just getting the king out over. No problem, I would still have a beer with you. Oh, fantastic. I don't know if you have one. I've got my Corona, as not always, but sometimes. Every now and then. I don't really drink too much beer, but yeah. I also still, I think I said this a few months ago, I don't know if Corona beer did some kind of advertising or campaign during the coronavirus story, but I mean, if you've got a name that basically like translates to the worldwide epidemic, you got to leverage that, right? No such thing as bad publicity and such. You got to make something of that. All right, let's go over to the next game. We've got a few other games we can catch up on. Here is SarahWynn versus Zubenelgenubi. Zube Zubenelgenubi? Genubi. Oh, hello, Zubenelgenubi. Streaming. We'll send the link after. Oh, actually, they won't read this right now anyway. Zubenelgenubi is... Oh, this is also board 4. Very nice. So again, some potential people I might play down the line. That's pretty cool. I'm glad to have so many board 4 games going on. So let's see. This is also an e4 and a much more humble d6. What is the d6? Is it like the English rat? Or is is the English rat something that white or black plays? I forget. And is it against e4 or d4? But it's something like that, right? Maybe it can be like a Burke modern kind of transposition. I'm not too sure. I'm sure this can transpose into a few things still, but we'll see. Alright, white is playing the bishop's opening of some sort. Black is playing something else. Still not sure if this has a name. Okay, white's playing just kind of a very standard situation, and black has now done a double step with their middle pawn, so threw a tempo down the wind to adjust to what white's doing. I guess that's a game. So trade pawns and bishop back to b3. Alright. So we have a... what is this, like a reverse Carlsbad structure? Yeah, this is a reverse Carlsbad structure, isn't it? Interesting, okay. Alright. Yeah, now white's the one double stepping with their pawns. Yeah, gets out in the middle. Black playing kind of like a reverse London of sorts. Getting the light square bishop out first. But now that I have no c-pawn already. Interesting. Yeah, reverse Carlsbad is not something I think I've seen very recently at all. Alright, rook over to the e-file. So this pawn is getting a little bit softer. Bishop out, knight out, castles, and knight going across all the way to here, I guess. Tickle this bishop, potentially try to trade off the knight at some point. Yeah, I think you're going to g3. Oh, and this is literally where we are now, knight f1. On black side, it's so weird to have a reverse Carlsbad. Bizarro. Is it it is a bizarre card, like CE, right? Yeah, interesting stuff. But it seems wrong. No, it's right. Okay, yeah, so the plan for black could be to push out some pawns, try sink a knight into c4. It is possible to sit the bishop back and try and play like a reverse Pillsbury knight situation with knight e4 and then f5 as well. I think you have to put like rook e8 on the board as well to defend the backwards pawn, just to be sure. Not sure if you want to do that though. This guy does have some good potential still. This bishop will basically just stare at the back of your pawns though, so probably that's no fun. Yeah, this bishop doesn't have very many like prospects, right? It gets traded off, can't go there, long pawn. So this is the long pawn is basically the standard move from the black side. Normally you play a move like this, so here now that's an option. But also you don't normally have a bishop, sorry. I have to keep kind of like translating this in my head. You don't normally have a bishop out. Where's black's pawn chain normally? Here. This is black's pawn chain normally. So you don't normally have a bishop over there. This bishop's kind of in a weird spot. So probably want to trade it off actually. Maybe. Yeah, because I don't know what it's going to do here. If black actually decides to launch a minority attack, this bishop's going to be in trouble. So probably bishop back at some point might be good. Push this bishop around a bit and then eventually trade it off for your queen. Yeah, rook over to the c8 square is also probably a fine move. Here, here. Oh, you can get away with b directly. In that case also you might want to put a... well, no, actually you can just get away with with b5 directly, right? And you're threatening here. And if they push past, you take, isolate the pawn, even if they take back. And if they take, you've got a knight and a bishop who can take here very happily, hitting there or hitting these squares. Oh, so maybe taking with the knight and threatening these squares would be really nice. Yeah, so maybe for black, actually just like the straight minority attack is quite strong. Hey Susie, nice to have you here. What are you saying? It is a pawn structure you get from exchange Caro-Kann. Ah, okay. Fair enough. Oh yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Here, and then exchange. Okay. Yeah, it's weird for me to think about it because I don't play the Caro-Kann or against the Caro-Kann nowadays, so everything's kind of backwards in my head. I mean, this must be better for black. Yeah, I feel like black must be slightly better, right? Yeah, I mean, in my head, black has basically played a reverse London, except they took with the C pawn. I'm just relating it to whatever I know in my head, not because it's exactly correct. But yeah, so I think for black here, just b5 is great. You don't even need to put a rook there because it doesn't need to be protected on this square. Because this bishop is normally here or here, I think, looking out that way. Yeah, but we started off with this pawn structure and then we transformed into this pawn structure. So a lot of, what's the word, stutter stepping with the pawns. A lot of stutters. Okay, white's thinking we're going to move on. Now it's Jeffsonadam versus Patchy the Pirate. I'm still a big fan of Patchy the Pirate. Let's just see quickly. Patchy the Pirate, this is a board 5 game. The Pieces versus Minerva's Horse. Pieces have a really cool logo that funny animated Jim made that makes me think a little bit about Avengers Endgame with the snap. But anyway, alright, d4 game, d5, c4. This is a Queen's Gambit declined. Knight c3. Main line, knight f6. And no exchange, just going for knight f3 first. And now this is a Tarrasch, I guess? c5? I think so. And the main move here is just to take the pawn. So, yep, take the pawn, take, and bishop g5 is mainline, I think. In my first round game, I played against the Tarrasch, and I have no prep against it really. I got exactly the same position, but I played bishop f4. My opponent tanked a big time because they were like, what the hell is bishop f4? So, yeah, there's definitely something to be said for not playing an obvious theory line, right? It's not always necessary to be playing some amazing engine line that's slightly better the whole way, unless you're playing an engine, right? So, yeah, I got a pretty comfortable position here, got my bishop out, and then I got like a little trick with the bishop here, putting a knight against the queen and jumping in with knight e5, which was apparently still perfectly fine for black, but it felt like I was better. And that was a pattern I knew from the Slav, which I actually had looked at for my round 1 game, so that was slightly different. Alright, long pawn, light square bishop, close off the pawn structure, knight comes out, rook on the half open file, and black plays a6, advertising that they are very excited. Honestly, actually, I think a6 is a slight mistake, isn't it? Is it? Aren't you supposed to just play c4 directly? My round 1 analysis basically, I think basically the engine said on multiple black moves play c4 and on multiple white moves take the pawn on c5. So yeah, I think basically these two pawns are the ones that are supposed to be moving. a6, I don't know. I mean, if you play here and they play like a4 to stop, you could still play after like a rook over maybe or something. They've already moved their rook, so it's not like the a file is going downhill, right? You can even here, whoopsie daisy, play your bishop to pin the knight, which I'm fairly certain is a move. Probably a fair one, to be honest. I could see that being pretty good. Okay, well anyway, a6, bishop just coming out a little bit, rook over to the c file as well, castle, and now black takes. Okay, so black is not going to try and get a 3v2 on the queen side, which I think they should have done. I'm fairly certain this is what you're supposed to be doing for black. Because as soon as you play here, you've got a 3v2, so white is always a tiny bit, not like on the back foot, but, you know, slight pressure, because long term that's kind of a problem. Alright, black takes though, liquidates their c-pawn to get an IQP and a knight. Alright. I think leaving the tension here might have been better. You can like play out your queen. You could, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure this was the best way to go for black, to be honest. Now white has got an IQP to play against, which I think, did I have that in my game? I don't actually remember. I think so. I think I played against an IQP as well. I ended up getting like a pawn, like way advanced somehow. Don't remember that anymore. Alright, white's getting just a lot of like nice moves. The queen probably doesn't want to stay on this square, that's kind of a silly one. You could probably get this in, because they can't go here because the a pawn hangs. You want to find a way to move your knight to the d4 square. So maybe your light square bishop comes out attacking the pawn as well, and then you do this, or here, and then this. Yeah, dark square bishop can kind of stay if you needed to, stay if you needed to, trade off against their dark square bishop, because their light square bishop is always staring at their own pawn, so that's pretty great for white, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, it's why lots of London players play the Caro-Kann. Oh, because of the pawn structure. Ah, I see. You're teaching me something new, Susie. I didn't know that. I mean, the Caro-Kann I know is a pretty safe and standard and great opening. It's basically the French without all the problems, right? So, yeah. No, hold on here. I understand about the exchange lines looking familiar then. Yeah, I don't think black should allow the IQP lines where white has the bishop on g5. Ah, yeah. Yeah, I guess the g5 bishop, just pinning the knight, kind of like any exchange d4 opening, really just causing some headaches for black, right? Usually only do it if white is struggling with bishop blocked on c1. Ah, okay, I hear you. So maybe if they closed off with e3 before the bishop came out. Yeah, okay, I can understand that a bit as well. So probably blacks misplayed the potential they had in the position slightly, but I mean, who knows? This could still go in any direction. All 11 results are possible. Okay, on to the last game that we currently have running. Oh, I think one more has already started actually. This is Astronominoff versus Maroczyy. Astronominoff is... oh, this is board 2, very nice. Alright, then we've got one more game. Oh, nseek and computer user, very nice. But we'll get to that in a second. So, Astronominoff versus Maroczyy on board 2, was it? T4 opening, love it. It's a London, love it slightly less. I don't hate the London. I actually, playing against it as black is pretty comfortable, to be honest, I think. Alright, it's a Jabava London. Alright. Oh, wow, and it's a reverse London on London action. Bishop f5 this early. You're really just inviting white to try and get you. Yeah, now you have to... Yeah. Yeah, because they haven't moved their c-pawn though, so I guess this is the... Oh wait, I should maybe like study this a little bit. This might be a nice way to play. Because I don't normally play... what do I normally do here? I play c5, I think. So bishop f5 in this position is not something I know too well. Alright, close off the pawn structure, close off the pawn structure on the other side. This blocks the jump, so that's important. Here comes the other knight, making space for the light square bishop to run away. Yeah, so this is basically a Jobava London versus a London. It's interesting. Alright, light square bishop. Oh, interesting stuff. So black says, cool, you want to give me very, very strong control over the e4 square, go right ahead. Okay, and also this doesn't waste the tempo with the light square bishop, doesn't develop white's queen by taking, and brings out their dark square bishop. Okay, white obliges. So now black's got a slightly funny pawn structure and a very, very strong grip on e4. Knight to e5, g6. I'm guessing you're going to fianchetto. This also keeps your f5 pawn nice and safe and sturdy. h3 so that the dark square bishop can get away, challenging the knight in the center, and g4. Oh wow, okay, so h3 was not just about dark square bishop, it was about getting a little bit frisky with g4. So g4 is protected by the queen as well, and by the knight, so if you take, they take back, opening up there, and then they've got g5 as well. Spicy. And now it's black to move. Hey Mortamort, welcome to the stream. Ah, you're probably working, right? So no beer for you. Somehow the bottle Corona just tastes better than the can as well. Maybe it's just, it's just, as they say in Japanese, kinose. It's just like your perception. It's not real. Alright. How's work, Mortamort? I hope you're doing good that side. From Black's perspective, I guess you're kind of uncomfortable to take FG because clearly White's kind of up for it. Although, can you do take, and then play G5? No, it can't because the rook hangs. Oh, wow. Okay. I think my money is on taking the knight. If they take with the pawn, you've got knight e4, which can hit the other knight and can still jump back to here if it needs to, kind of reroute itself. Oh my goodness, can't draw arrows for stuff. To the e6 square, which is probably an okay square to be on because it'll block off the e5 pawn. If they take with the bishop, actually if they take with the, like, if you take and they take with the bishop, you can just challenge the bishop. Oh, but at the end of the day, if you let them take on f, then you've just got a broken pawn structure completely. So maybe you take the knight and then you take the g-pawn, or take the g-pawn then no, I don't know. Oh wow, I mean black probably wants the castle long, right? But they need the queen to get off that back square, which doesn't really look like it's happening by itself. Yo, unsure what to do. Bottle definitely better. Bottle? Who's Bottle? Oh, Bo Hangover. I'm sorry, Susie. I'm clearly just falling asleep. Well, I'm talking about something, and then when you respond, I'm like, what are you talking about? Yeah, the bottle of the beer. I thought you were talking about the game. I got all confused there for a second. Work almost over, but busy today. Busy meaning you had 2 calls instead of 1 all day? Or like real busy. Anyway, it's good if you're doing a bit of work. Panic when internet dies at a school during exam times. Uh-oh. Fair enough. Did you have to turn it on and off again, or was there something slightly more complicated that you had to fix today? So I'm actually unsure. If I was black, well, if I was black, I wouldn't have this position for one. What about g5 directly? G5 directly telling that bishop to go away. And then once the bishop has gone away, then you can take once. Because here if they take, you just take back and, great. You've got a slightly silly pawn structure, but you've won a piece for a pawn. So I kind of like g5 for black here. That seems pretty good. Yeah, sorry, Susan. That was a bit of a slow one by me. Apologies. By the way, do you want to tell us a little bit more about your journey to becoming just way too strong at chess way too quickly? I forget how long you said you've been playing, and you said you got slightly obsessed, but frankly speaking, who plays chess for more than a year and isn't slightly obsessed? It is such a all-encompassing, engaging game, right? I'm kind of curious, was it all online? I think you said it's all online. Yeah, oh, snap! Alright, cool. I'm obviously 21-14 strength. Look at me getting the G5. Now black just shouldn't lose all of a sudden. Yeah, G5 felt good. But I had to swap the board to see it. I couldn't see it from the white side. That's kind of silly. Alright, so this is going to take a second. Let's look at the new game that just started. nseek versus computer user. And this is a board 3 game. Yeah, this is a board 3 game. Very nice. nseek computer user. Let's have a look here. nseek is white. I lost to them once already. Very frustrating. Not because I actually remember anything about why I lost, just the fact that I lost, I know. d4, d5, c4, e6. The queen's game has declined. And, oh, a little bit of a move ordering by black here. So if you play bishop e7, obviously, now there's no bishop g5 pinning the knight because the knight's not there and the bishop will hang. So in this case, white can play something like they do in the game, I think here. They take ones and knight f3. But black always has just one more extra move, so eventually you're going to have to put your bishop on f4. That's basically what's going to happen here. Yep, bishop f4, doesn't even try. c6, e3, light square bishop out. Oh man, black is all about taking the little additionals, hey? So now because e3 was played without queen c2, black also gets the light square bishop out on the best diagonal that white might have wanted, so they can trade off the light square bishop, or white has to just have a slightly less aggressive bishop. I don't know, white's okay for trading off, so trade off, knight f6, and now the main thing that you normally have to decide, one of the main things you have to decide for white in these structures, this is the Carlsbad, right? In the correct way, the way I know it, is do you want to play knight f3, or do you want to play knight to e2, knight g2, or knight f3? These are your options. Susie, I don't specifically want to know anything. I'm just kind of curious, like, what did you do? Because I started playing right before COVID, 2019, but you're significantly stronger than me. But I also poured hours and hours into the game, at least for a while. So I'm kind of wondering, like, was I doing the wrong thing? And maybe I'm just not quite as, talented. Very possible, obviously. Yeah, I'm just kind of curious, like, how did you spend your time and, like, how you climbed to whatever rating you got to? There's no special anything. I'm just kind of generally curious. If you don't have any, like, special story about it, that's also completely fine. nseek says they were considering a more aggressive line with g4 over here. Oh yeah, g4 is a move you can play against this, but they played solid by just trading off the light square bishop. And now they have to decide. Okay, hang on, I was kind of rambling a bit here. So you can play knight over here, which allows you to play your pawns up like this, potentially to break. Also, normally you can play your knight out to f4 then, and hit this light square bishop that is sitting there, but now there is no light square bishop there because it's been traded off. Knight f3, also just nice to get onto the e5 square potentially. There's a Pillsbury knight land there potentially, or I don't know what. You also have a minority attack, or I'm saying a minority attack here. Here the bishop is on the correct diagonal, right? So you have to either start with a3, b4, or I think more like classical is just bishop to b1 to push the pawn. And I think there's some versions nowadays where people go, not exactly in this position, but they go bishop b1, black plays a5 to stop the pawn push, and then you play the bishop, what is it, bishop b1, rook b1, and then you play the rook over to another square, and you do something else with it, but you just kind of induce this a5 move. But yeah, that's not happening here because we've already traded off the light square bishops, and also this bishop is on b4, not g5, and it is knight g2. Okay, interesting. Why? What are we trying to do with knight g2? Just stay flexible, maybe? I'm kind of curious. I'm not sure why we would go for g2, not f3. Without the light square bishops, I don't know. I feel like knight f3 was just kind of an obvious one. Because your light square bishop doesn't specifically... Well, I don't know. The light square bishop helps to cover the e4 square, which you can't do now. So maybe you want to put your knight on g3 to help with that, and then like this. There is also a plan like this to just kind of get a knight into c5. Now you also don't have a light square bishop to do anything with that, but you can like jump and trade off here. But basically, are you going to try and crack open the center, or are you going to try play on the queen side? Or earlier, you could have tried to launch G and H, but not anymore. And in black's perspective, easy development options here. Rook over to the OpenC file or semi-OpenC file. You can crack open the center while white's trying to do some other plan, because you have this semi-additional pawn over here. Black can play for e4, but it's white can play for e4, but it's never easy, I think. All the usual tips: playing lots, analyzing, studying courses, watching videos. Oh, great. So you just did nice. One thing about me though is that I was kind of a maths prodigy growing up, and I took up chess after I quit my maths PhD, and I think I've started pouring that energy into chess. Whoa, okay. The story took a massive turn all of a sudden. I think a lot of the skills that helped me with math apply to chess. That's fantastic. That's real nice. Okay, so maybe in that specific case, it sounds like being good at chess might translate to being smart in some version, because I know that's not always true in all cases. At least it sounds like it might not always be true. I'm sorry to hear you quit your math PhD. Was it just too much effort? Or did you like refute your own theory or something, so you can't prove this if I already found the problem with it or something? I'm not going to ask you what it was about, because I don't think I would understand a maths PhD so well. I don't even do like higher. Did I do higher grade math? I don't think so. I mean, I just did standard. Oh, I did standard higher grade math. I didn't do kind of the additional after school one, which was even on top of that, even more fancy. H3, okay. Yeah, we're really just playing very solid. I don't actually know. Is white trying to castle long? Kind of unsure what their plan is here. Very curious. Guitar Spider! Hello, Spider. How are you doing? I saw you in one of the games earlier. I hope you're doing well. I always mix you up with some Rapid player. Some Rapid player is in New Zealand, I think. You are what? In Europe or America? I don't actually remember. I was ask you if it's late at night your side, but it's not. It was just a very unhealthy environment where I was studying. My supervisor was like actual evil. Oh, okay. Sorry, that got kind of real fast. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, that sounds terrible. In that case, fantastic that you made that choice. I can imagine also quitting something that's such a big commitment. Also, it's not an easy thing to do. So, but if you made a choice that's good for you mentally and stuff, that's fantastic stuff. Spider, tell me what time zone you are roughly. I don't want to go look on Slack to figure it out. Okay, and black. White does castle. I'm still not sure what white's going for here. Maybe white also doesn't know what they're going for here. Why did they put the knight on e2? Are you going for this? Because I think if you're going for the minority attack, just knight f3, so you've got a potential jump there in the future. You can also get a rook over to the c file. I want to see something that kind of tells me what white is trying to do. Academia can be brutal. Ah, you are in Europe? Nice. Yeah. UTC +2, very nice. That's South African's time zone as well, I think. Mortamort, don't tell me I made a mistake. UTC +2, right? Yeah, I think so. Okay, I'm still trying to figure out rook e8. So black's just playing very standard. There's nothing here that looks funny and confusing. Knight jumps over here is quite normal. I think not really mainline at a master like top level, but h6 often gets played. A6, like the Janowski variation, is also something that black can sometimes go for when they're trying to push on the queen side. Alright, reveal yourself, nseek. I want to watch the other game again, but I really want to know what you're trying to do. Alright, screw it. We're going to come back to it. Give nseek some time to think. Let's go back to the first game. Whoa, okay. Low on time. Okay, so, oh, right. So in this game we were wondering about what black was going to do, or what white was going to do with the attack. So they did tickle the rook, yeah, fair enough. And they did place the bishop on f6. I mean, I don't know if this is a specifically amazing plan, because, you know, now, like, there, and isn't this pawn just falling, actually? So you move the rook basically anywhere here, and then this pawn's weak, so you have to protect it again. Rook over. Yeah, now you have to protect it again. Trade off Takes the knight first, hits the rook as well. Take there, take there. Alright. I don't think that was a great trade for white, to be honest. Black's looking more and more solid. This pawn is under a little bit of pressure. It can't be defended anymore. This pawn's under pressure. This semi-isolated pawn has no pressure on it just yet, so doesn't look like black's really feeling the discomfort. Hits the rook and a pawn. Defends the pawn and the rook. And preparing to double up. Also defending the c2 pawn, doubling up against the pawn, rook over, and takes because you've got 3 attackers. I guess you're going to trade this pawn for this pawn, but all these trades are probably going to allow black to get closer to the king. Take, take. Yeah, so now black's won a pawn. If you take, they take, and if you take there, they've got mate, which is, this is a fun mate to have, right? Just straight like one piece mate. Yo, very nice. So white, what to do? Yeah, there's no check, unfortunately. If you had a check, you could make a lot of things happen here. Like if you could check here, they'd have to block or jump the king up, and either way it's great. But unfortunately, you cannot do that. Queen back. No, you still lose this. Rook over. Very passive, but that defends your backwards pawn and your rook isn't hanging. Oh, okay, no, making luft instead. Okay, so oopsie daisy. Take, take. Oh, and interesting then, same threat from the other color. If black takes the c pawn, white gets the same kind of interesting mate on e8. That's kind of fun. Let's see if black realizes that. I mean, I'm guessing they would. You can't take the pawn before taking the rook, right? So you got to take like this, take there, and you can't take there because it's mate. Fun, fun. So I wonder if you want to defend that backwards pawn over there somehow. Like, push this, but then that's hanging as well. That's not so good. Maybe black just also gets some lift. You know, just not there. That does not help. Maybe just play b6. Just get a space for your... Oopsie daisy. Get a space for your king to run away to. I don't have my cell phone on me. That was a mistake. I hope all is good downstairs. Can't see anything. Yeah, I mean, I think for black it's just... Now if they take, you take back. They can take this pawn. You can check. Oh, never mind. They just took the rook. And king up. Nice. I like that too. Yeah, so... Now there's only queens on the board. The king can get a bit more active. Still got to be careful though. But that's nice. King can't get checkmated anymore. This pawn is still weak. Black is just up 2 pawns, which should be winning if they can convert smoothly. Smoothly. On white's side, this is tricky. Hey, you're looking for some tricks, to be honest. Okay, getting back here. Okay. I mean, this is also an easy move. You're attacking these pawns, yeah. Defending all the pawns. Still got to check. King can run away. Check here. King can run away. I can also do this, I guess. Yeah, a little bit airy. Black's going to have to find the right way to get the king to semi-safety. If white can get enough checks and things in. I think you got to get onto a light square though, because you've got to be able to get around. Yeah. And from black's perspective, here maybe? Or just this? No, then here. Oh wow. Frustrating stuff. Here, you can do this. They still have, oh no. They still have so many checks though. So here, you got to keep on running, I guess. They can check you on these squares. That square doesn't work. They can check you here. Then you can run up, I guess, a little bit. You gotta can try and get... Yeah, okay, so maybe this is black's. Run to A5. There seems to be a fair amount of... Ooh, sorry, one second. If you run here after that check, then that hangs. So you gotta run here, I guess. But then they got this. Oh, no. I mean, surely this is not a perpetual, right? Maybe black just has to give a pawn back somewhere. Like right now. Like just do this, let them take that pawn. I don't know, jump in, something. Check, you can check here again. Then you can push, and you're protecting all your pawns with your queen. Goodness me. Hey Jose! I think you were playing earlier. How did your game go? Did you win? And more importantly, did you enjoy? I hope it was a good one. Yeah, I'm all for just kind of dropping a pawn here. Which pawn? Maybe this pawn even. No, not that pawn. This pawn, I think. So I would go here, and if you check me here, then I think I would just run my king into a corner. And if you check me there, I'll just do this until you take that pawn, basically. Oh, but then I can't protect anything, and I can't get a check. Oh my goodness. Are you telling me 2 pawns up, this is a draw? Guys, help me find a plan for black. I don't know if they can keep the game from just cancelling out with all the checks that the opponent has. I thought this was such a great move. But maybe not. Maybe they play too fast here. Maybe they had to just put the queen here. Threaten some checks and oppose this. Oh, they could take that. Oh my goodness. Yeah, just so many. Maybe this move just was no good. Maybe you just had to put your queen back. Queen back here. Queen over here. I don't know. Insane. I can't find a single way for black to avoid just getting checked until they drop a pawn or two. You can go here, then they go here, you have to go here, then they take the pawn, and again your queen's just kind of sitting in the middle of nowhere. So I think these are the only moves that make any sense now. Maybe this one? You check there, your king comes up. Then they can check you there or there. You run down. Okay, maybe this is a way to go. So back, they can't check you there. They can't check you. The only check is here, and then forward. So here, and you actually kind of like try to run your king up the board. It seems a bit silly, but like if your king can get forward, your queen's always safe, and it's keeping all your pawns safe. What did you say? Oh, Martin, yeah, 2-day delay was a physical line fault 1 kilometer up the road. So not a whole lot we can do about it. Yeah, that's gonna sucky. And screw you, I had to pause you now because it took me 3 different calls in like 5 minutes. Congratulations on having a busy day. It sounds like you are actually doing quite a bit today. Alright, don't worry. You can catch up as slowly as you want. Absolutely no problem. You'll see this response when you get to this point then, I guess. Alright, so I've made my plan for black. I think you go king d8. Only check. Yeah, I think this was better. Here. And then you just kind of start running forward. Because your queen's keeping everything safe. So you just have to get your king into a position where it can't get checked out. And this isn't it. There's too much, there's too much space here. Yeah, okay, SarahWynn's also got this a5 idea. But you drop your b7 pawn. And then both of these pawns are weak. And black has no direct check on the white king, so they have to keep on trying to keep everything safe. Although I guess they could put like their queen here. No, then you can go there. Yeah, I don't think a5 works. I mean, I could be wrong, but I'm not so sure. If you go to the 6th rank, then g6 falls with check. My plan, oh, like here, here, here. Ah, yeah, that's true. Sorry, you're correct. If I go that side. Hold on. If I got to f6, fair enough. But if they check us there, you can't go to f6. Then you have to just go back here again. Then they check you here. Then you go here. Then they can check you there. I don't know. Then you go there, I guess. Check you again. I go back. You check me here. It's the same situation again and again. I mean, I wasn't gonna get to f6 though. They could have stopped me here, right? So here, 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 check me there, and I can't go f6. So if I could, for sure, but since I can't, never mind. Oh, an a4 directly by white, stopping the king from going there, I guess. Now, if you could transport your queen, never mind. To b5 it would have been made, but it's not. 2 calls instead of 1. Nice. Alright. Alright, now black's just got a place to hide. And white's just slightly worse. I think, honestly, I think white had a way to just go 0-0-0 again. Just keep on checking the king. Maybe they're trying to play for a win because they're 100 points higher rated, but you know, sometimes you just can't win. You just got to accept the fact that it's going to be a draw. Can switch this up a little bit. Yeah, that's slightly better. Alright. b6. Let's go on to the next game here. This one, oh, this was the reverse Carlsbad situation that was so confusing. And knight f1 was the last one we saw. Here we go. b5 directly looked like it was perfectly fine, but black is basically playing that plan. Yeah. Out, and a knight onto e5. It is double protected. Whoopsie daisy. Now this knight would hang if you try to do anything with it. Although you could go to c5 maybe, take back with the pawn. Oh, looks like that might be what they're doing. Nope, never mind. They just push the light square bishop away. Okay, and importantly, black doesn't take here to let the queen come out. Although, you could put a rook then there and you can still hit it, and sometimes that's kind of a fun little tactic from the white side. And knight h5. Threatening this knight, protected from here, trying to get active and dangerous against that king. Okay, now it's black to think, and black says, no trade, no dice. Taking my knight back to protect h6 square. Does white have an attack here? It does look very fun, but not sure there's an attack just yet. This pawn is a bit hard to protect though. How do you protect that? I guess you have to push it. If you put this check in, there's still a few ways to block it. And they're all kind of protected, so it doesn't quite work. What if you take first? King takes. You can check here and the queen can't stop it, so the king goes back. But you don't actually have anything, unfortunately. Yeah, I guess you need to get a rook into the game first. Here. Here. Make them move these pawns forward and try and get at it. These rooks aren't playing, this knight isn't playing, although when they take here, obviously, you gotta be ready because otherwise you're just dropping a piece. Oof. These old bones. I used to play Warcraft 3 a lot, and I think one of the orc heroes speaks like that. The Tauren Chieftain. I don't know, I don't think white actually has an attack just yet. I mean, it's very exciting to be playing this way, but I don't actually know where you're going with this. I mean, maybe you just have to check just to like make them move some pawns. If they move the F pawn, then this guy is going to get weak. So if you could, can you force them to move the F pawn somehow? Like if you check here, would they move this one instead? If they move the F pawn, you can take the knight on this side and then take this pawn, which is probably good for you. If they go here and you take there, here, then you're attacking it again, but they can defend it with the rook here, with the knight back. Looks like there's a lot of potential maybes almost, but just not quite. Just not quite strong enough just yet. Alright, hang on. I think we've got another game starting as well. Got to keep track of all these games. Yep. This one's also new. So add it to the back of the list. Alright, we're going to come back to this. I think white's going to have to take a bit of time to figure out what their plan is, because it's not so easy. This one, oh yeah, black I think misplayed the Tarrasch slightly, right? Let's see if PatchyThePirate can make a plan though. So castle, bishop d3, lining up against that h6 pawn. Although there's no immediate threat, maybe queen over looks good. Yeah, there's h6 itself, keeping the bishop on that diagonal. And queen comes up. Queen is not quite within range of anything though. Bishop c2. Bishop c2. Honestly, then I might have also played bishop b1 just to keep the rook a bit more active. Oh, ho, ho. Okay. Oh, hang on. We got to calculate a little bit here. So they took, right? Then you take the queen, but then this is also defended. There's got to be more than that. Are you getting this somehow? Or is it here, here? No, not quite. Oh, maybe this was a bit of a mistake by white. Yeah, you're just down a piece now, unfortunately, aren't you? Did I count badly? You get a rook and for a queen, and you get a queen for a rook. Nope, I counted terribly. Alright. So it turned out to be an equal trade. However, yeah, I mean, now the IQP is not an IQP. Now it's a 3v2 on the queen side. And this pawn is well advanced and very easy to defend with b5. Yeah, okay, this is where we are now. What do you do? Your additional pawn here doesn't do anything, whereas black's pawns are doing pretty great. So I don't know, a4 to stop the pawns from advancing does seem to like weaken things a bit. Maybe trying to trade that. You can't, they're just gonna play b5. Your rook can't get in anywhere as well. This is the only square you've really got. Yeah, position looks pretty good for black now. Although they didn't seem to play the opening exactly the best way, it turns out to be pretty good. Hey Jordan, welcome to the stream. Yeah, it's great to have you here. I'm assuming you're not driving today, right? I did my chores and things as much as I could to be able to get a bit of time. We're about halfway through already, to be honest. And I have my game tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. I love mornings, but yeah, pretty exhausted each time because we get up at night to feed my son. So I think tomorrow's game, if my opponent is watching, don't watch. Just joking. But yeah, if they can make it tactically kind of exciting early on, I don't think I'll be awake enough yet to be able to really do much. So, gotta be careful. Gotta be careful. Yeah, white's position is kind of tough. Like, this bishop is not really doing anything quite that useful yet. Maybe you want to go here and try and get like a bishop versus a knight. A rook. Yeah, bishop versus knight. So, if you jump the knight now, double attacking here, and they take, you take, then you're hitting this backwards pawn. Then they can jump it up. Then you hit this pawn again. Over. You just can't quite get enough against it. All these squares are also covered by the pieces. If they take with the knight though, you can take this guy, and then you've got bishop versus knight, which might be a bit easier to make a plan with. Since your pawn majority is kind of going nowhere, right? This is not doing anything. You are driving! Oh no, Jordan, be careful driving. Maybe, you know what? I was going to say F1 drive. I was going to say maybe it's time you enlighten us about what exactly you drive. Like the color or something. Is it normally you by yourself, or are you taking your kids somewhere? Because you're always driving when I'm streaming, so if we're gonna be worried about your safety, at least tell us kind of the situation a bit more, you know? Oh, I don't know if I was made for sitting on the floor. Ongoing. Old Japanese houses. Alright. White's still thinking, we're going to keep moving on. Astronominoff. Last week here we saw g5, which looked like a great move for black. I felt super great for being able to find it. Yeah, bishop back, and now knight in. Okay. So not trading off. Are they trying to push f6 to force the knight to do something? Oh no, that's not good. Are you just trying to take out the other knight so long? Take the pawn. Oh, okay, now we're trying to double up the c-side pawns. Take there. Oh wow. Okay, so black gave a pawn, but doubled up white's BC pawns a bit. And I guess you're kind of hoping that you can prove good knight, bad bishop here. Check with the king, gotta go up. Bishop back. This guy is obviously weak, but it doesn't really add too much value to take it. White can still castle all directions. And so they do. Queen comes in. Now you're like hitting a few things. This queen's got a little square over here as well, although I guess after knight over it's not really going anywhere. You can run it backwards, but also there's no like entry point here. Yeah, so although this looks really silly, it seems pretty safe still. Queen back, just kind of defending, and this is where we are right now. He's always chatting and driving, yeah. With the reflexes, right? I mean, I always wondered, like, how do you become an F1 driver? But you have to start, like, go-kart racing, or I don't know what kind of stuff, when you're way younger, apparently. You know, just, like, one day rock up at, like, a go-kart track when you're 21, and then, hey, look, I'm good, let's go. H5. I actually quite like black's position now. They're down a pawn, but it doesn't seem to matter too much. This is coming. The knight can go here. The knight can also go back. This also threatens there, and this also cuts off protection from the c pawn, although after this I'm not so sure how you're going to defend the knight anymore. You have to just like run your queen between these squares. Yeah, massive draw, or you start dropping a b pawn with check. That's not great at all. Never mind. How do you go here? Like, I mean, this feels like the move, just pressing the knight out of its little outpost. Long term, maybe they try and get a rook on there though. You got to defend it. The knight can go here, which also puts some pressure on some other squares, which is not quite nice. You can't put a rook on b8, so probably this is the move. Otherwise, maybe just b5. This backwards pawn is not a problem just yet, right? Yeah, it's gonna be one of these, surely. Oh, I see you have this as well, but that's check, so that doesn't help. Yeah, so maybe you want to do one of these first, and then you want to try and get this. Although maybe they... No, but then you can take here, and that defends. He's a trucker. Jordan could be a trucker. He's social enough. He enjoys chatting enough. He could be a trucker as well. Or his chauffeur does the actual driving. That's less likely, I feel like. Jordan sounds like someone who does his own driving, but you never know. Oh, I'm feeling nice and relaxed. Alright, I'm pretty sure it's going to be a b-pawn move. We're going to move across. There's still one new game we've got to check out as well. nseek. Okay, nseek was kind of curious like what exactly their plan would be here, you know? Oh, it is going to be the middle break, so f3, e4. Alright, getting the rook ready first. So what I know about this plan is that it is so difficult to know when to break with e4. Because even if you can get it through, a lot of the time the position starts falling apart for white. You've got to be really careful. Alright, and they say now, okay, so you drop your bishop for it. You've got a half open rook, another one on this guy, two knights and two hanging pawns in the center of the board. Okay, pressing forward. You don't want to go there because then you have to isolate a pawn. So going back. It would be great to be able to jump there. No, never mind. I'm pretty sure this is the plan now for white. I think you basically always want to try and get a knight onto the forwardmost square. This knight's going to be kind of difficult to get there. Maybe like this. Maybe you want to play here to let them take, so that you have your other c-pawn defending the center. The center. You can push, and if they take, nothing. Yeah, this is obviously what you want to do, but the problem is that the bishop's going to snap it off and your pawn structure is just going to be broken. Two isolated pawns on the d file doesn't really scream confidence. I don't think it's going to be so easy. Jordan says, I'm a drinking water operator in Michigan. A drinking water operator in Michigan. What does that mean? I drive around to various facilities, collecting samples, taking them to labs for analysis, inspecting drinking water systems with state and local agencies. And he explained it. The question was asked and answered. Well done. Thank you very much, Jordan. That makes a lot of sense. A drinking water operator in Michigan. So you basically, yeah, so you're just checking out. I'm assuming that the drinking water systems are all state-owned? Or is it, even if it's, I mean, I don't know, this is America, you know, I never know what can be owned or not. Slaves aren't allowed anymore, right? Anyway, jokes aside, I don't know if drinking water operators work with stuff that's only state-owned, or if you, I guess if there was a private company that ran a drinking water kind of anything, they would probably still have to be investigated or like audited or something, you know, just because it's such a basic fundamental thing for life. You can't have people running, you know, for-profit businesses on something where they can kind of mess up the quality or something that's bad. I'm guessing. I don't actually know though. Potentially that's not even possible to own that system in Japan, in America. Almost said Japan. Yeah, I think this is a move. I mean, this is clearly what you want to do. But you got to get rid of the bishop. That's the point. Otherwise, you'd go here. Never mind. Okay, coming in with a little sauciness. If you take, I'm going to take back with my pawn. Happy to trade off. Is the point here? No, that doesn't help. So you're looking at this, obviously. So here, and if you can't defend with your queen, you play something like g6. I go here, and if you take, I take back with my pawn, cutting off your queen from the defense, and then I'm slowly going to try and sneak my... Oh, hang on, but you still have your dark square bishop. So maybe in that case you want to take with the rook and double up against the f-pawn. Not sure. Hey Akshak, nice to see you, nice to have you here. Keep having to adjust my camera. Nice to have you coming past. How are you doing? Are you a very active alternate this season? I think you are getting games basically every week, right? There's a definite shortage of alternates in this season, so basically playing as many games as most full team members. All right, hang on. Let's check out what this new game is. This is Soccer Alexander 11 versus Swgfskdf. I mean, how am I supposed to try to read that name? This is a board 5 game. Alright, so c4. Oh, I played a c4. I played in English from the black side. I played against an English from the black side. I played against an English. How many times I have to try to say this sentence? Earlier today, in my own like 15+10 training game. Got a symmetrical position, which, I mean, pawn structure wise, but also kind of minor pieces and such. My light square bishop was slightly better than my opponent's, and then I kind of found some interesting, like, tiny threats, and they overreacted and created some weaknesses, and then we got a cool little tactic to win the game. Right, but I did not play e5. I played knight f6. Knight c3, knight f6, knight f3, knight c... Yeah, so this is a move I don't want to play. I don't want to put my knight in front of my c-pawn, but this is so necessary in so many variations. This is also how you play against an e4 opening, right? Against the Ruy Lopez and stuff like that. I'm just not a fan of putting... I think I play too many Sicilians, right? So I just never want to put my knight in front of my c-pawn. A lot of alternates are actually playing board 1, which is good to see. Oh yeah, nice. Yeah, board 1 is getting more and more exciting. There's also a lot of excitement in Lone Wolf, obviously, right? With, hello guys, this is John, joining the season. Really fun. I'm actually really excited to watch this game afterwards as well. You played a round 1 and we'll play round 3. Yeah, I think I saw you in the pairings very briefly at the start of the week. I snapped through the review. It was my birthday and I didn't actually have the time, but I don't want to cancel Mondays because it's such a fun stream, so I think we did like 25 minutes, just done. It's very quick. Oh, hang on, do this properly. There we go. Alright, knight c6. Alright, is this like a Mykonos Carls? Mykonos Carls? Carlson? Mykonos Carlson? Mykonos Carls, is that the name? I think so. Could be wrong. Or is this, hang on, is this a Staunton Cochrane? This is a Staunton. Yeah, this is a Staunton. Very nice. Alright, no it isn't. Is it? I'm gonna cheat. I don't know which. Is this a Mykonos? Okay, actually I won't cheat. Tell me if this is a Mykonos Corals opening or a Staunton Cochrane opening, because they both have these kinds of move in them, I think, but it's different, I think, based on what black plays. I could be wrong. Yeah, I'll give you a second if anyone knows. Alright, bishop out, looking good. d6, d3. d6, forcing that dark square bishop back. I mean, the dark square bishop's gonna get like hung out to dry either way. b4 is just like begging now. Yeah, there we go. Into the hole, but a very, very nice outpost for that knight. And you can also hide it back on e6 if you wanted to, if you didn't want to put it back on c6. And this is actually how I play against like the wing gambit or something. I forget what. Something like this. Like I play e5 so I can play my knight out and backwards to put it on e6. Because that seems kind of like a safe square for it a lot of the time. Alright. Okay, and black isn't unhappy to get this. Maybe they can try and play c5. Although I think maybe white can stop them from doing that. Knight e2, opposing the knight. Knight goes away. g3, coming out with the light square bishop. Pinning the knight. Doesn't matter right now just yet. Castle. Queen d6, also being able to trade off the light square bishop. So white has the bishop pair, but not a single pawn has been traded off, so not exactly an open board, right? Okay, but I see the next move is f4, so that's clearly going to cause some more stuff. Yeah, here we go. Now I start trading off. Taking with the bishop, I guess? Taking with the pawn. I spoke about this earlier today as well. I think it was earlier today, or was it a different stream? Maybe this was in the sub Smackdown game. Because like a Rossalimo, you play the f pawn up, and then if it gets taken, you take with your g pawn to continue having pawns to press forward. But then in a game I played today, I put up my d pawn, it got taken, and I didn't take back with the e pawn because I hated the structure. And it turned out that that's the move. You take with your queen instead. So in this case now, I'm not sure if I want to take with the g pawn. I feel like it's getting a little bit airy about the king, although you've got basically everything here, so maybe it doesn't matter. Coming in to trade it. Close off the diagonal, so that's pretty good. Now the king can take without any immediate fear. So many nice dark square holes for black to use. Although this one is currently completely crushed, so they're gonna have to go there, don't they? Yeah. What you say? So far white is doing good? Yeah, I mean it looks like it's okay, right? Oh, goodness me, apologies. Chop, 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 chop. F4, takes. Yeah. Alright, oh okay, but they don't have to defend it so much. They're bringing out their knight over here, covering that square, maybe trying to trade it off. Maybe they can eventually try and get the kingside attacker with this open, half-open file. Knight over, bishop up. Oh, that will be a very nice one to get if you can. Queen says, nuh-uh. But it walks into a pin, that's not good. What are your options? You can go back, I guess. If you go back defending, then your next move's going to be here. Otherwise, you literally just play it now and let them take. Take back with the pawn. And then king over. Oh no, but this doesn't work because this is... Oh no, this works because they can't get here, but it's dangerous. So here, can't check. If they could check, it would be mate, right? And then you put your king over and you put a rook on the g file against your opponent's king. I don't know. I guess this is going to be played though. I'm pretty sure you want to try and keep your knight defended before you play h6. Spicy game though. Very spicy game. Alright. No one said anything about which opening they thought it might be, so now I'm going to cheat and look at the opening book to figure it out quickly. This is just a 4 knights Nimzowitsch variation, King's English variation, and then 4 knight system. Lame. Alright, I guess it's only with e6 or c5 that the naming changes to something else. I don't see anything except knight d7. Yeah, knight d7, right? Just defending it. Yeah, I mean, this is why you're higher rated than me, right? Playing something like h6, while very fun, is clearly not very good. I also notice white has a ton of time. So they're the higher rated opponent of the player by like 80 points, but they've got 55 minutes. They have moved incredibly fast throughout this game. Alright, so they've probably played this opening before. This was all probably very standard for them. Yeah. I think f4, f5 is probably the only place where you've had to maybe think a tiny bit. Everything else does look fairly, and here now at the end, yeah, I guess still fairly good. King over, okay. So same kind of idea, right? You're gonna let the G file be opened up and just kind of try and take it for yourself. Yeah, I don't see anything except h6, knight f6 loses a pawn. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look good, right? It looks pretty bad overall. Oh yeah, you're right. You would lose the h pawn with that. That's not good. You know it as the four knights? Okay. Oh well, I guess c5 and e6 are the moves necessary to get into the other variations. King h1 also getting off the file. Black still has this problem with the pin. Probably still got to play knight d7. Knight e d7, sorry. Gotta give the whole name, right? Gotta give the whole name. Alright, going back. And also I think there's one more game that started. But we won't finish it, but we can look at it a little bit. Oh, it hasn't started yet. Sim for my queen is also supposed to start soon, but it hasn't. So let's just go back a move, and let's go back to the start. Oh, okay, and this game finished. Alright, let's see what happened. A5, yeah, B6, and now black was just better because their king can hide. Oh, they can even just take the pawn, block the queen, king comes over, push the queen back. Yeah, oh wow, I like this queen pawn move, like this, that's pretty good. King up, there's none of that. C5, blocks everything up, checks the king and takes another pawn. Takes another, okay, well now this is just over. You're down 5 pawns. That's clearly too many. Yeah. Good play by black though. Very nice, kind of just moving everything forward constantly. Okay, and white finally threw in the towel. GG. Oh, I have a reputation to hold up. I have to go press the analysis buttons everywhere. Okay, so here... Oh, black was just better if they took the pawn. They just had to take the pawn. Yeah, and again, just take the pawn and you're like minus 1.2. Yeah. I guess there really isn't some like massive reason why you shouldn't just take the pawn, right? You don't want to... No, I don't know. Let's not worry about it. And here... Oh, you really had to take that. You had... Oh, this is something I didn't even realize. Take here, and then obviously you pin the queen to the king, so that's quite nice. Okay, so you had a way to win a pawn back, but then you're just kind of worse the whole time and got worse. So GG. Tough game for white. Definitely was an interesting one though. Yeah. Melina Samare Moradi. Game over. I like it. Yeah, this one is over. GG. Melina, I like the little emote. I actually don't know YouTube's emotes that you can use in chat very well, so it's cool to see something like that. Alright, so this game is over. We're gonna... Can I go back to the... No, I can't. Okay, now I'm just in the analysis window regardless of anything. We'll keep it to it. Alright, in this one, yeah, white was kind of making a plan. Queen up, threatening mate obviously. Pawn has to move, I guess. All the way to g5. You can't take it. I don't see any jumps. Okay, nice. Use your h pawn to try and make a plan. Now the f pawn comes out. Okay, well everything is just gunning out here. Queen has to go back. Now you can push past it as well. Okay, it takes the knight, just reducing the attackers, takes a pawn. Oh wow, actually not much has happened since we looked last. Yo, body, neck is kind of stiff. Here in this position, yeah, I guess so. I think just taking is probably just very comfortable. There's likely no real reason to make anything complicated with another pawn push just yet. You can't get your queen in anywhere. This knight is a little bit of a frustration, right? Look at these knights just covering all the squares right there. Yeah, okay, that's probably a pretty good one. Taking with the pawn, obviously pretty good to keep the structure like this, to keep the dark squares a bit under control. You don't quite have anything here like here though, right? So take. Oh, hang on. Here, take. You could take with the rook though. I guess that's not really... Then you can do this. Oh wow, actually maybe this works. They did that first. Okay, so now if you do this, if you take with your lights, with your dark square bishop take, you take with your knight, this pawn hangs, this pawn hangs, and here, oh my goodness, I think white might actually have some kind of attack. We gotta calculate a little bit here, but I mean, for one, this pawn is also just hanging, right? Oh no, sorry, it's two defenders. So knight check here, if you just move out of the way, that's mate, basically. Here, up. Alright, so you gotta take. If you take with the knight, we can take back like this and threaten mate here. If you jump back. Oh, okay, never mind. White's already moved. Just getting on the same file as the king. So you can try and block it. Here, here, here. Maybe the queen takes in that case. Maybe they need to get that rook into the game as well. White seems better. I mean, white definitely seems to be having all the fun. I don't know if this was the best move though. I feel like there was a good chance that jumping the knight in straight away was pretty good, because then this would come with check versus just having a threat. Oopsie, I think the threat is a bit slow. What if I just do this? Everything's still defended. Your knight jump doesn't actually do that much. I can take, and after you take, I can take with my queen. Everything seems protected. If you take there, I can take back, and then you take here, this is still defended. I can also bring a rook up and sack it if I need to. This doesn't work because there's nothing to protect the square. Yeah, I feel like this was the move. We can check after the game maybe. I've got about 20 minutes left. I feel like this was maybe a great way to go. There's a lot to calculate in the line obviously, but threaten here. Back again. Check you like that. Oh man, yeah. White basically just needs like one more piece in the attack, and then I think they're crushing it. Alright, we'll come back, we'll see. This one. Oh right, yeah, I don't know what to do for white here. Alright, they're bringing their knight out, maybe onto the d4 square, that seems pretty good. Okay, breaks the pin, and comes to cover the d4 square, so... Oh, that's not too bad though. Your rook will still be active on the only open file, but yeah, black has this long-term plan. That's a nice trade-off as well. Nice one, black. Okay, comes in with a bit of tempo. Ach, white. Yeah, white's coming in with a lot of little tempi, hey? Nice one. Finding some good moves. I like this. So in this case now for black, you can't take because your rook hangs. If you take this way, still nothing. Yeah, this rook back here has actually turned out to be a bit of a problem. Here. Maybe you just had to take. Take here, you go here. They can check you there. Oh, then that's basically a perpetual though, because you can't get away from your knight. PatchyThePirate does not feel like getting a knight in. Knight f6 works. Oh, you like it? Thank you very much. How do you immediately know it works? Alright, well, they didn't play it right. Akshak, you're too sharp, man. Too fast. You gotta give me a chance. Yeah, black's in a bit of a bind, actually. Maybe you want to jump this knight somewhere? Like, I don't know, you need to protect here as well. Can't take... These guys, oh, sorry, these guys are pinned, basically. This guy's also pinned, so all your pieces can't move. Your king's also protected. Black's actually kind of in a Zubenelgenubi situation. You can move... This pawn will hang if you move it. Oh, then the bishop will hang though. So maybe you can move one of these pawns. Because that's kind of like the only stuff that's really mobile for black. They've got completely tied up now. Completely tied up. Akshak says e6 hangs. Oh yeah, like the backwards e6 pawn. Yeah, I mean, I didn't know if that would be good enough, but if you're trading off your e5 pawn for the e6 pawn, in that case, that is an open file now with a rook very close to the king, so I guess that is looking at least somewhat dangerous. I'm so impressed with white's kind of continuation here. I was really not sure what they were supposed to do. Back, trade off the dark square bishops with a threaten the light square bishop. And now black's kind of like long-term plan here has just gone to, maybe here they were supposed to just move. I don't know where, right? But or just trade. Oh no, but the trade is the one that you can't do. Maybe you just have to move somewhere like here. Oh no, that can't. Oh, you can't let go of this. Oh no, no, hang on, but the pawn handles it, so maybe you could have gone there. Or just here and be like, cool, take it. And then we unwind and try and make a plan. I'm so unsure what black's supposed to do to get themselves out of here, hey? King f8. King f8 in this position? Doesn't that just hang the knight? Oh, tactics on the back rank. Aha. For once he's not prepping on stream. My feet. Why is he streaming in the kids' room? It's not actually quite a kids' room, but it does have some kid happy things. My mother-in-law has some stuff here which is also related to, I think, one of her grandchildren. So I think that's maybe where some of the stuff in this room comes from. Yeah, to force him to learn chess subconsciously. Very nice. King of 8 might just work. King of 8. Okay, so what's black gonna do here? Take? But you take here with checks, it doesn't work. So they take here, right? Take here. King of 8. And if they take this way, then you just take back. And again, if they take there, and if not, you take back. And you still have this kind of long-term advantage. King of 8. Crazy. I don't know if black's gonna find it. That seems an insane move to me. Yeah. Mad, go for it. E5. King of 8, E5. Crushing dreams. Yeah, feet coming in with the frustrations. No one likes you because you play moves like this, feet. Frustration for all involved. Oh yeah, and that's actually basically white is coming up with this pawn, eh? Gotta be careful. Okay, hang on. We still got some other games we've got to keep looking at a little bit as well. Oh, okay, hang on. This one is finished. Okay, let's go back. I thought this was looking pretty good for black at this point. Okay, so here we saw they had to basically move the b pawn, so they ended up moving to b5. There's f3 now, pushing the knight back. Oh, okay, or just going for the pin. And then I thought you would pin the knight, but you could take here and take here, so that didn't seem too good. Yeah. Oh, this is I didn't see that. Okay, so you basically hang a rook, but you're coming in with an unstoppable. Oh no, hang on, your queen can take there, right? Oh, but then you can still come in with. Okay, so there's just no way to stop all of the threats. That's really the problem. Rook over to stop some of them. Bishop over. Takes. Oh, this is crushing. Okay. Yeah, just chasing the king into the corner, right? If you go up here, they can check you again. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Okay, I wanted to see if this was at least somewhat related to theory at the start. He should have played g4 instead of e4. This is already a different game, I guess. Apologies, I'm looking at a different... I'll go back to that one later. E5, king e7. Bringing the king to the front, attacking the rook, is it? I don't know, position disappeared. Yeah, apologies, hang on. So here you guys say here, 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 attacking the rook, right? Maybe. You should have played g4 instead. Oh, wow. Hang on, I'm looking at the other games quickly as well. There's too many games, we can't cover all of them. Oh, wow. Black was crushing and then immediately losing. Rook d7, massive blunder. Alright, this is apparently... Look at the master database quickly. Yeah, yeah, okay. No one, everyone plays 95 here apparently. Okay, anyway. So black was completely crushing here and is still crashing. Oh, snap. They got defensive instead of a little bit aggressive first. And now it's just a massive fail. That's unfortunate. That looks like something black should be able to. Were they low on time? No, they maybe just weren't paying attention. Oh, in the chat they go, uh-oh. Okay, they probably just kind of fell asleep at the wheel a little bit here. That's very unfortunate. Not seeing the fact that this hangs with check maybe for one. And then even here still just like king back is okay. Here, then what? You just block it off? No, that's the same problem again. So here, then you can take with check, and you're protecting against the little mate threat. And you can also bring out your own rook again, your own knight again. And there is also this. What do you do then? To run this way, I guess. Alright, hang on. This was a game done. Let's move on. I thought black. Is this Norway chess? Probably not, no. I thought black was just winning there. Yeah, it looks good. Yeah, black did go wrong. They were completely crashing. Very unfortunate. Alright, in this game, we were kind of wondering how white was going to try and make use of their advanced pawn situation. Queen came over looking potentially at some kind of threat like this. Yeah, here comes the knight. Does this work in any way whatsoever? It's pinned though. Yeah, so this actually works right now because it's pinned. Now it's not pinned. Takes it. Knight over. Now you've got this threat. That pawn. That square is still free though. F6. If you take and then you play here, this and this is under threat, right? So your king isn't... So take once, they take back. And then here... but you can take and you can take back, right? So that I think this is a pretty nice way to go for white. Where do you guys find all these emotes? I should really like get into YouTube chats a little bit so I can figure out where all the emotes are as well. Is that a sad penguin face? I didn't even know there was such a thing. Seriously, dense little eyeballs are pretty fun though. Alright. Take the pawn. Take the pawn. I'm almost certain this is the best move. And then hang your knight. Hang your knight. Almost certainly the best move as well. If they play their king up, then I don't know. Then you gotta jump your knight over there or something again. Here, here. Oopsie daisy. Here, here, here. King here. Oh no, king here is no good because then I can do this, which is check. And the only thing defending the pawn is your queen, so you don't want to take back. Oh, never mind. They decided to do a fancy check on the side instead. If you go here, there's a little checkeroonies. Here's a little checkeroonies. Only other way to... Yeah, there's no stopping it. That's a great little move as well. Wow. Nice one, nseek. I like my move more, but this seems to be pretty great as well. Yeah, this is looking pretty good. Oh, hang on, you do have this as well. Apologies, you can block with the queen. Oh, but the bishop hangs. Oh my goodness. Oh, that is just no good. F6 was a no-no. That is unfortunate. I didn't realize that the bishop was loose. Oh, wow. Yeah. So this guy's and this guy's. But if you take here, you've got like the worst pawn structure alive in front of your king as well. So that surely isn't great. And this also hangs. So you can take here, they take, then you take again. Oh, wow. Oh, but then they can bring their rook out, so you're trading a bunch of pawns. Otherwise, you just give them an IQP. And then take, take. Take. Isn't this completely crushing as well? Take here, and then take there, and take again. And you're on the king and the pawn. Everyone's got an isolated D pawn. You're up a pawn, but you're also up kind of activity, I guess. King can go here, or somewhere like that, I guess. That seems pretty good too, right? The knight, yeah, I get the knight is also hanging. This looks pretty good. Take, take, take. Take, take. Coming in here. Oh, you do have this. Oh, but this comes with check. And then the king has to run to one of these squares. Queen xb4, fxg, xb. Yeah, someone else was looking at this, but I actually think trading queens might be slightly better. How much are comments delayed? It can't be lowered. It's like 30 seconds. Yeah, I think it's... I actually have to check. No, it's not the anti-yap measures. Your comments are not delayed. The stream is slightly delayed. And the reason for that is to allow the system to buffer slightly. So I can have it a lot closer to real time, where you message and I see it instantly and I respond and you see my response instantly. But because my connection goes up and down, that will mean that every now and then the buffer will come on and you just kind of sit there waiting for it to be like, to get itself together again. So the recommendation is to lower the live threshold slightly, which delays the response I can give on comments because you don't see my response instantly, although I see your chat instantly. But that at least means that the stream doesn't hang. Okay, cool. So they're basically playing the line that I was looking at as well. Buffer under, exactly. Here, here. Yeah, I mean, this just looks pretty good. That doesn't happen. That doesn't help. If you go here, I still check here. Here, there. Then you hit my knight, though. I'm not a fan of that. I'm gonna jump my knight back here, protecting this square, looking at that outpost, looking at your b-pawn. So here, 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 here. Yeah, like chasing the king out to this way doesn't quite get you anywhere just yet. You don't have enough pieces. But you can come back to f3 looking at e5 and protecting d4, which seems pretty good though. I see this Steph better for when you play, but makes it a bit harder to have a conversation. That is true. I am sorry, that is true. It means that you have to be slightly more patient or just happy to read the other people's comments as well. Yeah, early times of internet, that is unfortunately, my life has always been slightly slower than best internet you can find, best tech, unfortunately. Alright, looking pretty good. We're going to come back to this again in a second. I'm going to come... Whoa, this is already finished? What happened here? That was quick. Hang on. Yeah, okay, so they finally did play knight ed7. Put on the queen, so if h6 comes in, you can take, and it's basically mate. Queen gets out of the pin. takes anyway, messes up the pawn structure, and in comes the queen. This is getting weak. Maybe this is necessary. And it's what they played. Rook over as well. Why here? Why c1? Okay, we're about to see, I guess. I don't know what c1's about. Rook over, rook up to f3, queen down, and threatens a mate, defends the mate, queen back, queen down again, threatening mate in one. Oh, they didn't see mate in one. Unfortunate. Oh, and there was a white offer to draw here after queen e3. I didn't know. This is a little like draw question mark. That's a nice little memo. That's unfortunate. h4 threatens mate. h4 threatens mate. Rook h3 threatens mate. Is that what you're talking about? Oh, and they just hung it on g2. That's very unfortunate. Yeah. Anywhere near Flint. Louis, I have no idea what you're talking about, but I did recently open up your Slack image just to once and for all understand what it is. And is it Gandalf? Is it Gandalf with like sunglasses on or something? It's a surprising thing. Mortimer says if you make speed high on YouTube, you can be closer to real time, but yeah, the hitches every now and then. Yeah, it's my connections are just never strong enough. I'm sorry, Feet, though. I can definitely try it sometime. Maybe for one of the less important streams, but yeah, it's very unfortunate to have the stream lag and stuff. I don't think that's a really great experience for anyone involved either. h4 last game. h4 in this game. Oh, just protecting here h4. Oh, I see, I see. If you try to attack... Yeah, okay, I got you. I got you. I got you. Flint, Michigan low. Wait, what? This whole Flint conversation is completely beyond me. I have no idea what's going on. They took... Oh, they defended with the other rook. That's pretty good too. Also, now everyone can trade off everything on the back rank if they wanted to. I guess that's fine. Oh, well, hang on, but if you do this, you walk into a fork. That's not so good. Okay, let's have a look. Was that pretty equal still? Oh, alright. White, unfortunately, just lost their amazing advantage. They had to do some rook cliffs and things instead. But they didn't. And then from here, just made in one, unfortunately. It happens. That happens sometimes. There's not much you can do about it. Flint, Michigan low. Sounds fire. I feel I completely missed this whole conversation about Flint. Alright, I think even though there's some more games starting, I think that's it for me for tonight. I've done my 2 hours. This game's done. Ooh, this one's still going. Let's have a look quickly at how White's attacking here. Yeah. Yeah, they do play the knight out. G4. Checks the king. Takes the... Wow. You can't come back because what? Oh, comes in and threatens everything. Can't comes here because it's with check, so you have to block. Drops the knight. Same threat again. Now you got over and you've got little pass here. Obviously this is going to come in though. Oh no, they take the knight instead. Take. Bishop out to connect the rooks. Alright, well it's looking pretty good for white, right? And now that backward square isn't really covered, so the rook can't come out and push the queen off. Stop fresh. Oh, Feet, you weren't here earlier. I said I have a reputation to uphold recently, since this week, right? I'm pressing the button every time I see it. So yeah, every game I go to, I'm pressing the button now. Yeah, I know where I went wrong. This is a stupid game. Stop looking at it. Don't look at boring games, right? That was the thing he said. I don't know. Norway starting. Oh, cool. Oh, very nice, very nice. Please enjoy it. This is great because I'm going to stop now as well, so you guys can go enjoy some Norway chess while I enjoy going to bed. I just want to see... Oh, the queen's defending it backwards. I didn't realize that. Pins the knight. Pins the rook. Takes the pawn. And that seems kind of... Oh, they're hanging this then. Yeah, sticks on the pin. And now you got to decide what to do with a lot of activity for black all of a sudden, and not so much for white. This is hanging. This is looking pretty weak. So here... Take. Here... Take that way. Coming back here is a bit scary. Yeah, your rook sitting on A1 is unfortunately not helping much. Tell Danya and his to join Lone Wolf. Yeah, like get them in. Talk in the chat. Ask Danya why he never plays the team league or the Lone Wolf league. Why they don't come and like join us. Lone Wolf is by far easier, right? They don't have to deal with the team. They can just play. Okay, hang on. Gotta go around. This one finished as well. Oh, hang on. So, okay, so this one did already finish. Let's see. Okay, black couldn't find king f8, so they took with check, dropped the rook, took a pawn, and then just resigned. GG, unfortunate. Alright, let's press that analysis button and let's have a look. Oh, it's already been done. Ah, king f8. King f8 is still +2 for white though. King f8, e5, king up. Nice one, Susie Dent. Oh, you can take with the rook, so you still lose it. Oh my goodness. Okay, so you basically go down a pawn. And activity, because your king's kind of stuck. And now you have to defend a backwards one. Oh wow. Alright. Astronominoff, we already know that's just done. nseek's still going. Training off. Ah, okay, here we go. H4, right? Nope, never mind, it took. Here. And I'm guessing you did that to get the check in. I don't know why else you would have traded like that. Yeah, get a check, go over here, I guess. These are your options. This gives you a potential back there. And if they put a rook there, are you just going to trade off and hope that your extra pawn gives you a chance to win knight versus bishop? Bit tricky. This is the right bishop versus these pawns. Don't think this is going to be quite as easy for white. And this is kind of a no-brainer, right? There's not much... Nope, never mind. They're going to do that instead. I think black was kind of fine already. Because this pawn was just going to be really difficult to defend constantly with your king or your knight. So I feel like it was probably still going to be okay. Although, down a pawn, you're probably not excited about it. Bring the other rook out. You can defend. You can not defend. I don't know why you would do that though. Maybe rook over here, just infiltrating is good. Rook over here, they take, you take back. The king runs here, I guess. You get this pawn for that one. You'd also be able to maybe get... Nah, never mind. Okay, they are coming in. I think we're not going to finish that one though. Is this... Did we watch 5 games? 1... Oh, this one's still going as well. Ooh, dangerous. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games. Alright, so unfortunately these two are still going. Sarah and nseek. But we are not going to finish it because I'm going to get off now. Thank you very much everyone who came past though. This was really fun. I will try and follow up on what in the world the Flint situation was. I'm so sorry I didn't get what in the world we were talking about. And feed, we can totally try the delay reduction in another stream. Maybe, you know, just like a small coverage at some point just to see, but it'll always depend on the connection of the day. If the connection is good on that day, it'll be fine, hopefully. If the connection is not good on that day, it will be frustrating for you, and I won't know. Although I might see like reconnecting and warning and all kinds of stuff like that, drop frames and things. Alright, so that's it. Thank you very much for joining in, everyone. This was really good. My Corona was delicious. I had a great time. I hope you had fun too. See you next one tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. So in 9 hours, basically, I have to play my game. I'm going to be really tired. So I'm going to hope that I can just kind of slowly get into it. So if you're awake at that time, please come back. And we can enjoy the game we're going to play against the Megalodon. I don't know if you've watched the Meg 1 and 2. It's an okay movie, I guess, right? It's not bad. It's a popcorn movie. Which South Africa has very nice popcorn compared to Japan, which is pretty average. Anyway, that's it. I'm going to call it a night. I need to go get ready for bed. So be safe, take care, and see you in the next one. Later, ta-ta.